massive convention for burlesque classes for you to be able to learn from. If you know it, you know it. But I wanted to bring about classes. I wanted to give more opportunity to people that saw us as gods and goddesses on stage, and I wanted to give to them the ability to branch out, to realize their calling, to be able to enjoy how much passion burlesque brings. So I wanted to bring in people that I had worked with, people that were leaders of the industry, and people that would teach burlesque classes. I wanted to bring together something that was huge. It meant a lot to me, and it became a dream, and it became a passion for me. I was gearing up to give all of myself to the burlesque community and to the Wisconsin as a whole. When I approached many of the different leaders at the time of burlesque, who were interested in this, I got turned down. They told me they didn't have the time. They told me that the endeavor was too big. I'm sorry, I can't support it by being one of the orchestrators, but I wish you the best. And I was like, okay, all right, that's cool. If you don't want to follow, if you don't want to help me bring this idea to life, I will do this on my own. I will use the leadership skills that I've gained from working with the Midnight Minxies. I will use all of my power to be able to bring this to life, because I know that there is a thirst for knowledge, and there is a thirst to have people bust on the scene to explore burlesque. Like, it's a thing. I can feel it in the air. I know that it matters to people to have a passion or something that's important to them and to be able to bring it to life. So I embarked upon the endeavor of bringing a burlesque convention to Wisconsin, one that hasn't happened since 2017. Y'all, that's like a lot of years have passed since then. Like, you have no idea how inspired I was to do this. It really was important to me to try to do something that would help leave a mark on the burlesque community, with the shows that I've done and things like that. So when I brought together all that was required for this this burlesque convention, I was going to have a food truck be able to serve food. I was going to have industry leaders teach over like 16 different classes and workshops. I was going to have Deep Light, which is this amazing LARP crew, by the way, allow people to fight with foam swords. It was going to be awesome. At least that's what I was gunning for. When advertising and everything was starting to get launched, and I pushed everything out, this is kind of when the controversy stuck. So Ruby Devour posted on her page, sharing with the world that, hey, if anybody wants to know the scoop and dirt on what this person has done in the past, I'll happily fill you in. But to give you a better breakdown of what she decided to do, she decided to start basically a hate page. She decided to, rather than being happy for what I was trying to do and what I was trying to accomplish, she decided to share that with the world. Hey, this person is a creep. This person has said terrible things to people. This person has tried to lure people into their trap. And this person has tried to basically, all in all, use his connections in ways to get people to do sexual things. And that's basically the gist of it. That started a tornado of hatred, a deep tornado of hatred. People actually wanted to stand by her side, thinking that I was a bad guy and thinking that I was still doing all these things. I caught wind of this, and I made it known and I made it clear that if there was anybody that I had offended in my earlier years starting on and doing burlesque in any way, shape, or form, that they felt that I was making unwanted sexual advances, that I apologize. Because we are all human. We all pick up on cues or show interest in some way, shape, or form, and people give consent to be able to pursue things further. And if so, that didn't happen, it doesn't happen. I learned that, and I learned that I let people be. If somebody is not interested in you in that way, you let it be. You ask for clarification, you get to know them as a friend, but you let it be. You don't try to push people past further than what they want. And there were people in my life that were, as I mentioned, still holding resentment and a vendetta against me. I learned through Ruby Devour's conjuring of sharing with people that I was a bad guy, that I was a person that pursued people for sex. I learned that there are people out there that actually hate me. I learned that she was able to help bring about people wanting to see my downfall, wanting to end my career, and wanting to destroy anything that I stood for. I can't share with you enough the amount of passion that it takes to openly generate hatred towards someone. But there were death threats actually on her page, and I was told about this because I didn't want to see just how cruel human beings could become towards someone that they have a twisted view towards. And I didn't know that these people held something against me, but it was bad. Here I was trying to generate this dream of making burlesque more available to everybody and create a convention that could foster people's passions and allow people that have always wanted to pursue this or wanted to grow their skills to be even far more amazing. And I was going up against these two dark tornadoes of hatred, of people that didn't like me, of people that used their own personal issues towards me to foster a community of hatred towards me. And it got so bad that I had to ask the people that I was working with, hey, I know that we stand strong to try to provide for the burlesque community, and this means a lot to me. I also realize that because of myself and how I am seen of the way that I used to be, we are seen as the villains trying to help. And if I am not able to even have more than 10 people come to this thing, and I realize that it's going to personally cost me $1,600 out of my own pocket to actually bring this convention to life, which I am willing to pay for because that's how much this means to me. At what point do I realize, do we continue fighting for the sake of my pride to not want to lose what's important to me because these people are saying all these things about me without personally getting to know the person that I am today? Do we continue our fight to stay strong to bring this to life, or do we choose to throw in the towel and concede to what these people are brewing? And believe me, I had teachers actually back out of me doing the event. They read the comments and they were like, I can't be a part of this. For my own well-being and for my own security, for my own reputation, if I am now a part of what you stand for because of what has been said, I will go down. I can't be a part of it. Also, to let you know, they are planning on showing up in protest for your event, and they will have signs, and they are thinking of picketing your event. And being the person that I was, I tried to remain neutral and I tried to remain positive, But after hearing that it was a planned protest that was going to happen on the day of me doing the convention, people were planning to actually show up for my event with picket signs saying that I am a huge problem within the community, that I am a predator, that everything that I stand for is wrong. They were going to hassle the people that were going to be coming just to enjoy the convention, and the teachers and anyone that supported it. And I was thinking to myself, how bad do things have to be for us as human beings to mimic what happened in Birmingham when, for example, people were just trying to be people, and there were people with hatred in their hearts. There were people that were willing to incite a riot just because people were doing things. How bad is the world right now of my reputation that there are people actively planning on doing something so horrible to the people that are choosing to stand by me and choosing to support the convention? It was terrible. I could not allow those that stood by me to have to endure that. I was even more appalled at the fact that there were people that were openly okay with trash talking me or bad mouthing me, or people that didn't even know me or even spent time with me willing to help support Ruby Devourer and those other people who decided that I was truly the bad guy for anything that I've done. So you know what I did? I came to the conclusion, if there are so many people with hatred in their hearts who have no idea of the person that I am today, I will let them know. I issued what I learned from those two people that I mentioned, two things that were important to share. I issued an apology. I owned up for my actions of the person that I was. I said that I was sorry. And I told them I'm no longer that person. People can change. People can grow. And people deserve a second chance. My troop, I should say actually my ex-troop, they chose to take Ruby Devourer's side. They chose to investigate, and they chose to do what they do best. If for whatever reason you fall out of graces with the Midnight Minxies, they will publicly embarrass you. They will publicly destroy your reputation. They will be absolutely unprofessional, and they will choose to bury your reputation. They won't see you for what you've done. They won't see you for how you are. They will choose to go with whatever is happening in the world. They will choose to go with whatever sounds right. And at that time, it made more sense to be able to go with the flow of being at someone else's side versus standing by one of their own members. It became one of those days where I realized that people will associate someone who has raped people, someone that has actively been a predator to people and done things, with a person who has shown signs of not knowing where to stop communicating with people. So to share with that further, what that means is, even if you didn't actually do anything hurtful physically to people, if you've done anything hurtful at all, you have the same reputation, you have the same rep as if you did. And people reached out to me. People shared with me, I can't believe that somebody of your stature would abuse your power to communicate with people and feel that it's okay to ask them if they would like to hang out and get to know you more, or if you felt it was in your nature to ask people about their personal lives. I shared with them that when you connect with people and you get to talk with them and they show interest and you show interest and you get to know them, you ask for clarifications on things and you ask for consent to be able to talk about things. And I realized that that was being blown out of proportion of what I've done with people. And I also realized that if I am in the wrong, then the fact that I made a change in my own personal life, 2 years in, 1 year in, I learned from my mistakes and I became a better person who didn't do that. I became somebody who I could be proud of. I became someone who chose to just not personally be involved with people, but instead choose to respect them as fellow burlesque performers, as fellow people. And I learned that of myself, there's nothing wrong with talking with other people and connecting with them. And for better or for worse, the level of professionalism that goes into things as a burlesque performer is always going to be anything that can go any which way. And so asking for clarification on things became one of those staples and became important to me. I had to learn of that controversy that I am not a bad person and that I am very, very sorry for the people that felt that way, that felt that I had wronged them, and that felt that I was a terrible person, and that felt that they needed to hold something against me and that they could not move on. I share with anyone watching this video or hearing the sound of my voice that as a burlesque professional throughout my career, I have done my best to maintain the values of promoting people, of encouraging people, and trying to help people enjoy burlesque. I focused more on the art form. I focused more on getting better as a person, and the concepts and creative ideas that I brought to the stage meant the world to me. I can't express how deeply hurt and sorry I feel for all the people that have decided to hold against me how I was, and I issue an apology for everyone who decided to buy into what was going on at the time because it was popular. And for those that decide to still hold something against me, I will share this with you. Please get some help. Touch some grass. Find Jesus. He is out there somewhere. I don't know where, but you need him. I learned to forgive myself after I lost my dream. After what I had poured my passion and heart into being able to accomplish was burned to the ground. And how I learned the respect that I had gained of the people that kept coming back to my shows, that worked with me throughout my shows, and that wanted to be a part of something great for my convention, that I represent the ideals of a dream to be able to give people a starting point to do things. I absolutely love music and I share that as a passion. I love teaching and I share that as a passion. But I also realize that if in the end all the hurt and all the things that I've done cannot be forgiven, then I have to forgive myself. And I have to learn that it's okay for people to hate you, and that it's okay for people to want to see you die. It's okay for people to want you be banned. As a human being, I have never been banned from anywhere before in my entire life, and to be told that because someone hates me that badly that they banned me from their building, they banned me from the events that happen in the building, and yes, they are kink related, and yes, I literally never felt so disgraced that I was like, you know, I can still be a good person and I can still do great things. And I don't need to have someone's approval who doesn't accept me of the life that I lived and how hard I worked to change myself and how more sensitive I became of things. I tell that person, if I didn't block them, that you can keep your building and you can go fuck yourself. Let me repeat that. You can go fuck yourself. Because I have held on to so much anger and resentment towards the people that stood against what I believed in that I chose to not lash out. I chose to remain quiet, and I chose to not tell my story. But to be honest, I deserve to get to tell my story, and I deserve to get to issue an apology for those that still have not been able to forgive. I burned a lot of bridges because of people who chose to stand against me. I share that with you because when I say stand against me, I say that yes, I may have done wrong, and yes, I admit that I'm at fault. I admit that I have done things that I may have inspired people to not like me, or to not appreciate me, or to not want me anywhere near them. And I respect that, and I ask for forgiveness. But I also recognize that there will always be people that will hold a vendetta against you no matter who you are, no matter what you do. There will always be people that will shut you down, that don't want to see you grow, that don't want to see you advance, and will destroy your life from the inside out in any way that they can. It is okay to admit that you are at fault, and it is okay to apologize, and I sincerely apologize. I also realize that there's nothing wrong with being able to move on past the hurt, and there's nothing wrong with being able to ask those who are hurt to be able to move on as well. I share that with you because after the Midnight Minxies did what they normally do in destroying a reputation, it was seen as very unprofessional of them as a troupe and very childish in maturity for them to release the statement of sharing my personal life to everyone. They could have, in a professional setting, just say that they were dismissing my ability to be as part of a member. However, they always go one step further to be able to destroy anyone that they don't like. They always make sure that they embarrass and that they destroy people that they don't like in any way, shape, or form they can. And that is why I had no problems at all with agreeing to what they said of not wanting me to be at their shows, and I was okay with that. Because to be honest, for me, the ability and dream and passion that I had for burlesque died when I felt a majority of the community stand against me of what I was trying to do. And I felt like the value that I had placed on my core goals of wanting to give back to the community, to want to continue to inspire people, and to continue to bring acts and music and characters and things to life was no longer relevant, and it didn't matter. Because if people see you as the bad guy, no matter how much you do, no matter how much you try to give back, there can be no redemption arc unless you begin the journey yourself. That brings us to our third question. Will I want to continue with burlesque? People didn't have an issue with my level of quality with how I did shows, with how I did acts, the different concepts I did. People loved the way that I brought characters to life. People loved my shows. Um, People loved the creativity and spontaneousness that I put into things. People loved the way that I performed as a burlesque superstar whenever I was on stage. Backstage, they loved being around me as well. However, I became more of a changed person further along in my career. I would say maybe like the last 2.5 years. Um, I became more, I kept to myself when it became to being with people backstage because I didn't want to have any of the controversy again of people feeling like I was coming on to them or that I was trying to initiate things. I just tried to be friendly, tried to make people feel inviting, but I also know that professionalism is important always. Um, I actually developed a beautiful, I would say, bromanship because it was technically a bromanship. I developed a beautiful bromanship with a fantastic person named Tokyo Night. Um, Tokyo Night actually became my very first ever in this life man guy crush. Um, yes, man guy crush. It's a thing, okay? So it's like when you're attracted to a person who's a man and you know they're a man, but you're still attracted to them. They became somebody who I could really vibe well with. In fact, they became somebody who inspired me so much with their angel dust. Myself as Alistair and them as Angel Dust, we did we did a collab that after all that happened didn't get released, but um, the concept was to a Evanescence song. Angel Dust was going to play the piano and Alistair was going to dance, and we were going to basically have one of those rock montages together. And it was planned for that to be a huge release on top of the wave of Has Been Hotel that had came out. However, with what went down of feeling like the burlesque community no longer wanted my presence and no longer wanted what I stood for, even after the apology, I figured that the only way to be able to make amends for what I was doing or for what I had done was to retire. Um, I learned in the end that actually is not the case. Um, so you can't take a character or persona or skills or interest or time that you've invested almost 5 years of your life into and just throw it away. Like you can't. Seriously. I've tried. It's not possible. It's like it eats at you that you're not doing what you have engraved in your soul to do. Um, I cannot take the burlesque performer out of me. I have tried. I have killed myself trying. I have told myself that no one wants to invest in my dreams and my acts. No one cares to see me. No one cares about my existence. The world is against me. Everybody hates me. If I died, that would literally make people's day. That's how suicidal depressed I got. And that's where I thought I belonged. That's why I was like, the only way to redeem myself is to retire, because if no one stands in your corner, then what's the point of continuing to fight? Well, people did stand in my corner. Loved ones, friends, people who knew me personally and knew that I wasn't that type of person cared and reminded me that I still have a flame that is worth igniting upon the world and that I still matter. There will always be people that hate you. You have to be stronger than the hate. You have to allow yourself and forgive yourself and be a better person than you were. And you have to show it and you have to give it a try. And I feel like finally I'm ready actually to do that. After months of swimming in the darkness and having everything destroyed and feeling like nothing matters, and that honestly those that have such hatred against me would rather see me just drop dead, I don't feel suicidal anymore. It's an odd feeling. There's nothing that hurts worse than seeing your dreams destroyed and die and crushed in front of you, and then having the world told to hate you because it's the right thing to do, and because you are literally seen as being a predator without actually doing the predating, that nothing else matters, and that it's just better if you just wipe yourself from the face of the earth. Like, the world will forget about you and move on, right? You know? That's not actually how it works. So I realized that in my absence of no longer wanting to be worth any value to anybody, that I was squashing a part of my soul and a part of myself just because I held on to the image of what people projected on me to still be. And I couldn't let myself integrate with that image because that's not me. And to be honest, I have felt that it's more important to focus on the art and the product and your skills and what you contribute to the world versus trying to take from it. And so I realized all this bottled up anger and hatred and rage and all these emotions that I felt towards everyone that did everything they could to destroy me as a person and as a human being, that they weren't worthy of my hatred anymore, and that they weren't worthy of my silence. I don't have to give my energy to those that wanted to just destroy me. Instead, I can literally just say that I still have worth, I still have value, and I can happily say, go fuck yourself, passionately, as much as I want to you, for those that have decided I wasn't worth caring about anymore and that it was just okay to put me down. I can honestly say that in standing on my own 2 feet to want to create this video, that I say there is still a burlesque performer in me, and that there is still life to give. There are still people that recognize that I am a good person, that I do have good business skills and good business sense, and that I am someone worth working for. I don't have to fit into the status quo anymore. I don't have to play childish, immature games. I don't have to deal with a troupe that valued vanity over quality, that was more than okay with shutting people down and making them feel embarrassed about their lives and not caring about them as a person. I don't have to be confined to this persona of a person that I was given, of not being able to exist and not being worthy of being seen and just better being shut off. I don't have to do that anymore. I can literally be liberated from being judged and being persecuted and held down and not given a redemption arc. Bitch, I feel like I am worthy of a redemption arc. I feel like I deserve to have a second chance. And I feel like I'm going to give my second chance. I don't know when. I don't know how. But I am done feeling sorry for myself and feeling suicidal and feeling depressed and feeling like I don't matter, that I'm not worth it. Because I recognize that if I forgive myself, then I'm allowed to take steps forward to be better, to do better, to be even better than I was before. I may not have a troupe and I may not have a family, but I am still a person. I'm still a human being, I'm still someone worthy of being cared for just like anybody else. And I make mistakes. And I realize that I made mistakes. And I realize I may have hurt a lot of people. But I know that I can be somebody worthy of being on stage again. I know that I was meant to do burlesque. I know that I was meant to entertain. I know that I was meant to make people happy. And I know that I was meant to inspire dreams. And I know I was meant to do so much more than what I've been written off as. So, to answer your question, what am I going to do with my life if I'm going to return back to burlesque? The answer is, you bet your ass I'm going to continue doing burlesque. It stands to reason that there are 1,000 songs, even more so, that creatively will have some kind of character worth like putting together with. There, people who write songs will always be a songwriter even after they're done with their albums. It is one of those creative juices and flows that flows through you every damn day. It fuels you. It makes you think. It makes you grow. It just, when you have a knack, you can't stop it. It is always going. It is always going to be there. I've seen so many passionate things said, and like those pictures, like with the people. Yeah, pictures with you. Anyway, pictures with the people that say inspirational things, that you can take the fight out of the dog, or you can take the dog out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the dog. That is very true. Oh, you're only smiling, camera person, because you have dogs. But, okay, I digress. My life right now might not be at a point where I used to be, where I could easily, Friday nights and Saturday nights, go out there and kill it and do burlesque. I, unfortunately, as it stands right now, my life is heavy, and it's crushing my dreams. It's crushing my soul, actually. It's crushing my ability to pursue these passions that I once did that made me happy. My life is not always going to be that way, but as it stands, I actually currently can't do burlesque. It's one of those, it's on Fridays and Saturdays that I'm working Fridays and Saturdays, and I can't right now. I do want to, and there will be a time where I'll make a comeback. But know this, as of now, I don't renounce myself as being a burlesque entertainer. I may have made a lot of people angry and upset for finally trying to tell my side of the story. But I want you to take to heart that I am human, that I make mistakes. I have made mistakes. I own up for anything that I have done and for any hurt that I've caused. And that I am a much better person than I ever was before. And those people that I have wronged who are watching this video, please note, I'm speaking to you directly. I am very sorry, and I sincerely give an apology to you so that you can heal and that you can move on and know that I am not doing what I did before. Because if people believe that I cannot change, I have changed. I am a much better person, and I am not worthy of people's hatred. There are people that are literally committing this shit and still doing this shit. Those people are worthy of your hatred. But I am just a person. I am just a guy. I am just trying to find my way in the world. I'm still trying to make it a better place. I have not had my positive, optimistic outlook destroyed by the negativity that I faced and the hatred that I faced, and the, as I mentioned, literally the moment when I heard people were deciding to boycott and wanted to just riot and wanted to destroy my dreams openly in front of other people, I still don't hold hatred towards you. I've moved on, and I hope that you're able to do so as well. I want to say thank you for your time, for making it this far, for watching this video, for knowing now the story of Arctic Delight. Because I literally went from being able to perform, to teaching classes, to doing my own shows, to wanting to do a burlesque convention and realizing that the world, maybe it just doesn't want what I have to offer. Maybe right now it just doesn't want to have somebody who has the dream to teach people to do burlesque and different aspects of that. And maybe the world is just not wanting my version of burlesque like I saw it to be, you know? But that doesn't stop me from still trying to be a better person, still trying to pursue dreams and passions, and know that this was made for me. To any burlesque performers or anybody that do things still, and if you still have unresolved issues, there is that famous Michael Jordan commercial I saw that I will share with you. Please do what you can to get your issues resolved, because I have forgiven myself and I recognize that life still moves forward even when people try to end it. So, that being said, I would like to say thank you to you all for supporting me and for believing in me and allowing me to be worthy of a second chance, because in beginning a redemption arc, there have been people that stood by my side. I thank you. There have been people that supported what I do. I thank you. And for you being here watching this video, I thank you. So, with love, Arctic Delight signing off. Take care. You can end it.